Hey, what's up, guys? Listen, sit down. We got to talk about what is going on with King Charles, his cancer. Okay, it's worse than anybody thought. And also, Harry flying over. You guys, it looks like Harry actually is on his way to the UK. We've already reported on that. But get this, Harry actually might be picking up royal engagement. William is furious about this, but Buckingham Palace is looking at William saying, "This is your own fault." Because, baby, you've been so power hungry, you've been so mad. When the chips are down and the staff is cleared, everybody was counting on you. And what did you do? Go and hide. You're supposed to be stepping into the power that you schemed for over a year as a regent. And all you did was fold. On top of that, you guys, people are saying that Charles has been sick for a while. They thought it was under control, but instead it ended up getting out of control. You guys, strap in. This is going to be a doozy. Nothing that we thought is real. The one thing we do know is Kingston and Buckingham Palace seem to be the biggest liars in the world, and we cannot believe a word that they say. If you're like me, you are waiting eagerly for the Spanish royal Rhoda to actually say something. This is how I think we know that Charles and Camilla and Buckingham Palace were leaking to the Spanish royal Rhoda, because they had a lot to say about Kate. But baby, they haven't said nothing. They're sitting there on mute about Charles and Camilla. Where do you guys want to start? At the top, at the bottom, at the front, at the back? You know what? Let's start at the top, or at least where I see the top. Harry being sucked back into this web of deceit. Now, don't get me wrong, right? This is Harry's family. And no matter what you say about your family, that's why they say be careful who you marry. Your family is your family as your family. Harry knows they're a dysfunctional bunch. He was raised by the dysfunctional bunch. That is the only father he has, just like that's the only brother he has, okay? Of course, if his father is on his deathbed, he's going to come and assist. At the end of the day, this man, I guess, gave him love, if that's what you want to call it. Anyway, how do we know that Buckingham Palace is literally bringing Harry back on? Because Buckingham Palace basically announced, not in a royal announcement, but they went on source saying that Harry has spoken to his father about the diagnosis and is traveling to the UK to see the king. He is already on a flight. He will be there in the coming days. Now, oddly enough, Meghan and the kids either weren't invited or they decided not to come. Again, I pointed it out. Charles was petty and didn't want Meghan when the queen was dying, and they had an argument. Let's see. Hopefully, Meghan and the kids just decided to stay behind, or they might actually be saying that, and they might actually even be on the plane. I don't know. I don't want to get any gossip started about that. Time will tell, but I will say that the mark of a person is how they are when they are sick and when they are on their deathbed. For all y'all saying, "Oh my God, have some compassion. This is Charles." First of all, as a human being, it's above me. If God wants to take him up above or down below, it's above us now, okay? Again, y'all can pray if y'all want, but God's already made his decision on what's going to happen. So there's nothing we can do but report about this. Also, let's not forget, well, you know what? We don't need to rub it in, but do we forget the way Charles treated Diana? Do we remember the way Charles dunked on Diana? No, I'm not saying that this is karma. I am saying that when Charles held all the power, he really showed who he was. Again, he really showed who he was. Let's see if he walks it back. Now let's talk about the William mess, okay? Because this is the crazy part. And baby, this needs to be said, okay? Now, it's important to note that for all you people being like, "Oh my God, my father, my uncle, my this, my that had prostate cancer and they survived." First of all, congratulations and blessings to everybody that's actually had any family member be hit with cancer and survive. It truly is a blessing. I do want to say that when it comes to prostate cancer, Charles doesn't have it. This is something more serious. If it's not prostate cancer and it was discovered why he was there, let's just take the palace at his word. This could be liver. This could be pancreas. they could have actually been trying to remove cancer and it actually spread in the blood, which is the worst case scenario. Whatever it is, it's super serious, not only to the fact that Harry is flying over, but the fact that they're announcing and almost like a mea culpa, and Harry is expected to resume royal duties to distract the Commonwealth because William, King Joffrey, without the talent or the charisma, will not step up, is incapable of stepping up. Now, let me just say that when it comes to William stepping up, being incapable of stepping up, there's a couple of things that need to be said about that, okay? I always felt this about William. William wants the power without the responsibility. He wants the respect without the work. He wants the admiration without the humility. Because at the end of the day, think about it. William has a pattern of fighting for what other people have because he just wants it because he feels like he's entitled. Look at the way he was fighting with Harry for attention. Look at that whole thing about him and Harry fighting over the charities in Africa. It's not because he cared about Africa. It's not because he wanted to be involved. It's because Harry was better. Harry got more press. William thought he was entitled to that. Look at the Earthshot. William thought he was entitled to be the king of America, not Harry. So he fought to become the king of America, even though he flopped horribly with the Earthshot prize. William wanted to be the respected the king, right? So he started like fighting with Charles and doing all these things, snipe, 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 because he always wants what somebody else's has. Now that the deck's been cleared, now all the players are gone. Now's the time he can actually set up and operate as de facto regent. Things that he was hoping and begging and sabotaging his father for. Now he's on mute. Now he's shied away. Why? Because now he actually has to step up and walk it how he talks it. And now we see the emperor has no clothes. And now we see that William is not prepared and has no intention of actually shouldering the burden. He just wanted all the benefit without any of the responsibility. Again, if you believe the rumors that Charles has been sick for a while, but this cancer diagnosis is not a surprise to anybody, but the fact that it got out of control is. I do also want to say this. Remember a while back when I was like, why would Harry drop his lawsuit against the Mail? And I thought it was because when Kate went into the hospital. But think about it. If Charles went into the hospital for surgery, if he knew that his dad was battling something and he went in, would it not seem that Harry, as much as Charles screws him over, he always seems to be the dutiful son? Would it not make sense? Again, Charles is now out of commission and Harry's flying over there. Kate, nobody knows where she is. I have not forgotten, but nobody knows where Kate is. And all around that same time, Harry dropped this lawsuit that he would have won against the Mail. I know he has several lawsuits, but the one against defamation, which was his most important one, he would have won if he stuck with it. He dropped it for no reason. And the Mail did a few articles, but after that, they let it drop. Didn't it seem like some type of deal was being made? I know it did. Anyway, y'all, let me get into this because it needs to be said. It needs to be said, okay? Now, Omid Scooby said that reports have specified that nothing more will be said, but just listen to what's been said on Twitter, because I think it's really, really good. Oh, also, this is the crazy part. Now, UK Tattle Tells, you have to let me know because it's your culture. But everybody says that it's something that when they're talking about the king, or maybe it's Kate, the newscasters have started wearing all black again, signaling that some major announcement about something that requires you to wear all black is about to be among us, okay? Now, let's go. So one person said, one might even say this medical escalation and the Frederick news, which we're told Frederick was giving 3 days notice before the live address, has kicked off a hornet's nest. Now, if you guys don't know, that's, I think, the Dutch royals, Queen Mary, who cares? Anyway, was kicked off the hornet's nest. December 31st minus 3 days is December 28th. People talk, just saying. Another person said, wouldn't that make Kate happy, though? And they're like, Kate? You mean Kate? Kate? Is Kate conscious? Anyway, right? Some person said, I wish I knew how to shrink my font because I would type in teeny tiny letters, divorce. Another person said, even tinier letters, you should type. Is there even time for that? You can't divorce a queen. From Kensington Palace's briefing, William assumed he would ascend on a schedule on his own terms. Life doesn't work that way. Another person said, sure you can. Anne of Cleves, I guess, off of her head. Anyway, another person said, now I understand why William was planning his coronation. Now they literally quote tweeted something that was tweeted on May 31st, 2023. Now I understand why William is planning his coronation. Not saying anymore, but if anyone wants to bookmark this tweet, do it before they delete. Okay. Listen. Anyway, somebody said that it sounds like Charles's cancer was under control at one point, but now it isn't. Much like with the Queen, fell ill very, very quickly. Okay. Another person said, I think a lot of eyes have been opened during this last few weeks. They expected William to step up and take charge, and instead he disappeared from sight because at the end of the day, William is not ready to rule. First of all, I don't think anybody should be ruling, but William himself knows it was all bravado. He never had any intention. He just wanted to torture his father and fight for something he thought was his right. You're too old. You're this. Now we see the emperor has new clothes. Charles has announced this, and William has not stepped forward to say anything to address the nation to do whatever. You know what? I love this for the monarchy. I love it. Remember when we said a long time ago when I started reporting royal news, Tattle Tells, we all said it, that they would eat themselves alive and destroy themselves. And William is the prince that was promised to destroy the monarchy. Anyway, right? Another person said, totally. Honestly, in all the years the Queen was alive, there must have been diagnoses and procedures done, yet the public heard nothing. Well, that's because the Queen and Phillips were firm believers in eugenics, and they were firm believers in never looking weak and making it seem like you had superior genes to the common folk. Y'all can say what y'all want. The Queen was a mess too. That whole family we can throw away. Okay. All of a sudden, Chumley in the same hospital, and now they know Kate will be out longer than Charles. Listen, somebody said, wish him the same he wished for Harry and Meghan. They said they really didn't even announce that the Queen had cancer. They actually tried to say she just died of old age. I think Charles is going so suddenly they have no choice. I really honestly do think that Kate might be gone. Charles might be out. What happened over Christmas? Another person said, does anyone think this Charles news is very serious? Sky News and other places have not stopped reporting on it since the news came out. Another person said, yeah, I think he's at death's door because all the newscasters are wearing black. Another person said, all I know is that something really serious is going on behind the scenes, and this is used to distract people. I've said my own. All of a sudden, they want to be transparent. Nah, run along with that BS. I think someone behind the walls is in some deep ish. Again, somebody said, wait, why are all the news people wearing black? Why? Again, I think this confirms one thing. Kate is extremely sick, so sick she can't be seen, because they would have forced Kate at this point to come out of hiding just to show her face. They would have showed a pre-recorded. They would have did something. You know their stunt queens and love theatrics. This is a woman they literally made get dressed and do press with full glam an hour after giving birth. The only option is Kate can't be located, and maybe she's not conscious, which I 100% believe the Spanish media. This isn't something like cosmetic surgery or bruises from some type of tussle, because those bruises and scars could be covered up. And faceless don't take this long to heal. Also, she wouldn't even be required to walk or do anything live. They could just release a pre-recorded video of her sitting down for family. And the fact that she's not, again, let it be said, William has been hiding from the Regency for a fortnight. Literally, his regency is in effect. And the weakest, shallowest member of the royal family, because say what you want about Charles, and he's an MFer, but Charles has a work ethic. He knows he has to hustle to be a billionaire. William thought all that was going to come to him for free. They literally had to flush William out to force him to resume his possibilities. And he's not even his responsibilities, and he's not even coming out till Wednesday. Listen, I don't know what's going on. I do know something. Do you think Nostradamus was right? Because my mind immediately went to it too. What did Nostradamus say? That William would not sit long, and somebody that was not earmarked to be king shall become king. Sorry, Charles. Charles looks like his reign is over. William looks like he's not up to it. Harry's coming over to maybe resume official duties. Y'all. Did somebody put a hex on this family, or is Diana sitting there eating her curd? Let me not say curds and whey. Is Diana sitting there on what's tea? Again, something deep is going on. I'll let you guys know when I hear more information. Please don't be in the comments talking about show some respect. Baby, if you care that much about Charles, you better get on your knees and praise. But I swear to God, when things get this serious, it's in God's hands now. But if you care, start praying. Start praying. All right, y'all? Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.